Marca 23, and by the European Championships 22. Here stands, it's a gold medal in the team or single, we will see. I will ask him later. Sven Korte!
And Sven Korte of Germany. Once again, Germany are represented in another shotgun final here at the European Championships.
122, the qualification score of bib number 5 from Estonia. Silver medal at the Olympic Qualification Championships in Doha 24. He was also the semi-final of the World Cup in Rabat. Here is Peter Jurison.
And Peter Jurison next to get his introduction, 23 years old. And it's his second European Championship final. The first was as a junior.
122 for the Ukraine, the silver medalist of the World Championships 23 at Baku and gold at the World Cup 21 in Cairo. Here is Mykola Milchev.
Well, it's the Olympic champion from the Sydney Olympic Games. 57-year-old Mykola Milchev has achieved so much.
The judge in charge for that final will be Emir Emirzadeh, Cyprus.
And Emir Emirzadeh, very keen fisherman outside of shooting, representing Cyprus, is our jury.
The most important person for this final is the referee in charge. This is Assad Gabriel, France.
And Gabriel Assad of France is our referee.
2 series by 3 positions, 4-2-4 is the count. 2 series, 2 rounds, I mean, for the 6th. Then every next round, the next decision, 5th, 4th, bronze, gold. Let's go. With your applause, come on, everybody! There is more! Have a look. Great! Oh no, my mic doesn't work. Great Britain, Italy, Ireland, Germany, Estonia, Ukraine! Come on, everybody!
So just having a look at qualification, here's how it finished. Cassandro and Llewellyn both locked on 125 without a miss. Incredible, really. It went to a shoot-off. Llewellyn managed to pip it for bib number 1. He hit 4 targets in the shoot-off, Cassandro with 3. And the rest all on 123, down to 122. A very competitive qualification for the Skeet Men. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator. Alongside me is Bethany Norton of Great Britain. 22 degrees Celsius is the temperature, so it's just dropped a little bit from the women's final earlier on today. Wind gusts of around 15 metres per second and plenty of cloud cover as well. A change in conditions from yesterday, Beth.
Definitely. It's looking less windy than the junior finals yesterday, but as we've seen in the women's final, there's still some targets that have been affected.
Yes, the women's final had really everything you'd expect from sport and from shotgun shooting. Drama, emotion, pressure, medals, of course. And the history books written once again. So I think our referee, Gabriel Assad of France, is looking over as if to say, OK, so what's the delay? So if you are just joining us, welcome along. We're live on the ESC video stream, both on Facebook and on YouTube. You can like the videos and also subscribe to the channel if you are on YouTube and join in on the live chat as well. It's always nice to see your comments and where you're watching from around the world. That's just a reminder of some of the world rankings. So the world number 8, Tamara Cassandro in this one, and then the rest of the world rankings. It also depends on how many competitions you go to as well. Sometimes it's not even necessarily reflective of someone's ability, and certainly not in the case of the likes of Cassandro and Ben Llewellyn. 125 targets they faced in qualification, and both athletes hit all 25. If you'd like to follow us on social media, then you just point your camera from your smartphone or tablet at the QR code and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Just follow the links and it'll take you through and everything should work out for you from there on in. So this is how they line up. Ben Llewellyn of Great Britain in bib number 1. Tamara Cassandro of Italy in bib number 2. Jack Fairclough of Ireland in 3. Sven Korte of Germany in 4. Peter Jurison of Estonia in 5. And Mykola Milchev, the Olympic champion from the Sydney Olympic Games, is in bib number 6. He was also competed at the Rio Olympic Games and in Athens as well. And has 11 World Cup medals. 1 silver medal at the European Championships. That was back in 1999. I remember that year very, very well indeed. There's me showing my age as well, not just Mikola Milchev, who's 57 years old, Beth, and still on a world stage like this.
So impressive.
So here we go with the first shots. And Llewellyn, a great start on station number 3. Tommaso Cassandra, you'll see him talking to himself. Does it quite a bit. Certainly as the final progresses. Was 4th in the Olympic final a year ago. Very popular athlete in the world of shotgun shooting. Well, a miss for Cassandro just on that 4th target. There goes Jack Fairclough. Well, that's the first 2. And just to say, there's just about 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock off to the side. So you've got 30 seconds to make your call for both sets. And Fairclough just gets in there, dip of the knees as well, tried to get that second target. It wasn't to be, so 3 out of 4 for Jack Fairclough on station 3. And Sven Korte made that look pretty simple. Certainly that second target, caught by the wind, was rising up and high. Well, the Germans are here in great numbers, and I'm sure you'll hear them throughout the final, particularly if Korte keeps shooting like that. 4 out of 4. So Peter Jurison of Estonia in just his 2nd European Championship final. Last time was as a junior, this time as a senior. And just misses the 3rd. And Milchev, meanwhile, incredible really. What a career he's had. You think back all the way to the Sydney Olympic Games. He took gold that day.
I think Milchev just proves what a versatile sport shooting is. I mean, you can have 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds making junior finals, and then you can have 60-year-olds making senior finals and medaling. Just goes to show that you can do this sport from any age, any ability.
Yes, it is one of the beauties of shooting. And certainly, if you go through some of the athletes that you'll see on the world stage, some of them have even switched over from other sports. Well, Ben Llewellyn there made great awareness of the wind. So Jack Fairclough, his first visit to Station 4. This is where athletes only face 2 targets. And in this first rotation, it's a normal pair. That means you have one come from the high house to the left, one from the low. That's off to the right. Then when we go for the second rotation, the Station 4, each athlete faces a reverse pair.
Another difference between qualification and finals in Olympic skeet is that we face reverse pairs on stations 3 and 5 in a final, whereas in qualification, we get a mixture of singles and doubles on a station. The only time us as skeet athletes get the chance to practice these reverse pairs is during pre-event training.
So 2 athletes now the total of 6, 3 on 5. And Milchev, the Sydney Olympic champion, takes that first one. That second one really, again, caught by the wind there, Beth, and just went so high even over to the netting and the cage off to the side.
Yeah, it's very difficult because I know back in the UK, when we get wind-affected targets, especially on that high house pair on station 4, often the low house is being pushed down. Whereas this week, it seems as though that low house is being pushed up.
Yeah, it certainly caused a few problems in the women's final just a short time ago. And that'll be on our video stream on YouTube and on Facebook for you, if you would like to watch the women's skeet final. Well, it's a decent start for Ben Llewellyn of Great Britain, just carrying on with that qualification form. He hasn't missed yet. Cassandra, on the other hand, hit 125 out of 125 in qualification, and now can finish up with just that one miss. A possible total of 9 is available here with 2 to go.
Today, Fairclough shot a new Irish record in qualification. This is his second ISSF final. He was the first Irish athlete to enter an ISSF final back in the Cyprus World Cup earlier this year. And it's looking like it's going to be a very close final today. Ben Llewellyn on 10, and the other 2 athletes on 9 out of 10 hits so far. What a great shot. That high house really being carried up in the wind there.
Well, the Germans going crazy. Sven Cortes made the perfect start, 10 out of 10. Well, again, that first target was rising high and over. And I think, just looking at it, Jurgensen was just underneath it, actually. Managed to get the second, though. Sorry, missed that too, but got those first 2.
That was a very difficult pair, with the first bird being taken up in the wind and then the second bird coming down. That's a lot of barrel movement. It's often really hard, especially when the first bird goes up and the second target comes down, that you often lose sight of the target underneath the barrels, and the athletes really have to search and keep that gun movement going through to get to the second one. It's a very difficult shot.
Well, Milchev, 9 out of 10, 57 years old, and out there in this European Championship final. It's just wonderful to see the shooting sport just provide that breadth of ages right across the generations. So that's how it stands. It's Corte and Llewellyn at the top, separated by the bib number system, both on the perfect 10 out of 10 so far. 3 athletes then on 9, and Peter Jurgensen of Estonia on 7. Well, Llewellyn makes it look so easy. It's really not. 14 out of 14 for the Briton. He's had a gold medal at the World Championships. He's had a bronze at the World Championships as well. It was that terrific performance back at the World Cup final in 2017 for that silver medal. Meanwhile, Cassandro was 4th in the Paris final in the Olympics, and 7 World Cup medals in his collection. He was also a gold medalist at the World Cup final. That was in 2024. I remember being there for that in New Delhi last October. So can Fairclough make this 4 out of 4 at station 3?
He's going to have to watch that clock.
Oh, he was just there as well. I think he raised his hand. He says he hit it. Gabriel Assad, the French referee, is signalling over to the side referee. We've heard the beep. Is it going to be a hit and a miss? If it is, it'll be a repeat of what happened to Fairclough at station 3 on his first visit. And he's looking over at the side refs. You can't see that on your cameras, on your screen at the moment, but we can see what's happening with Fairclough just down on the field of play. So the decision stands. Meanwhile, Sven Corte is already getting on with things. And it's the first miss for the German. Despite that, applause from the German supporters and team.
You can see Sven really taking his time on that reverse pair. It's different to some of the other athletes who are hitting them quite consistently. It's because he's getting a lot of targets that are very wind affected, and he's trying to make sure he can place that shot in the right place rather than just shooting at where he thinks the clay should be.
So a miss for Jurison, and stays on 10, but makes the double figures. Milchev did well there as well, particularly that target from the low house. As Beth was saying a few moments ago, the wind really seems to be catching and pushing them up as well. I think most of the athletes have become aware of that, though. And takes those last 2 as well. That's a decent visit for the 57-year-old. Station 3, so we now go back to station 4. This time it's reverse for each of our 6 athletes. So Llewellyn steps up, loads, puts the shotgun into what's known as the mount position, makes his call. And gets the first, misses the second.
You may notice the athletes closing their gun in a very similar position, despite having very different techniques. This is to close the gun in line with the center peg, which is where the 2 crossing targets are set to cross in the middle of the range. This is a good reference point, no matter what range and what background, that you know where you want to hit that first target, and then you can plan to move to the second target. And a lovely pair there for Corte, keeping that nice pace, the nice rhythm, consistency. And Milchev there having quite quick release on the targets. Us as skeet athletes, when we call pull for the target, there can be up to a 0 or 3 second delay in which the targets come out in the sky. This is random and differs from Olympic trap, which is where the athlete's call pull and the target will be released immediately. We often see athletes struggle with instant or long delays.
Well, Ben Llewellyn still with that one miss, 19 out of 20. Cassandro now of Italy can match if he hits all 4. Well, it's 2 down, 2 more to go for the Italian.
And Cassandro just taking his time on that second shot just to really make sure his gun's in the right place and that target's going to break. The flash clays used here today, you might see the pink puff of smoke. They're very exciting for us skeet shooters, as the only times we ever get to shoot with them is in a final. In qualification, we just have standard clays. The pink puffs signal to the refs when there's a clean break and make sure there's no discrepancies on whether a target is hit or broken. It makes it obvious to the spectators and the referees whether a target is a hit or a miss.
Well, Sven Korte now to try and match the leaders. All of our athletes so far have had 4 out of 4. The wind has just dipped a little, and I think that's what's at play here as well. So Sven Korte now another 2 at station 5. And the Germans once again go wild. And Jørgensen now with only a maximum of 14. Knows that already he'll be leaving this final despite wearing bib number 5. And Milchev still to shoot. But Jørgensen with those first 2 and now faces another 2.
Both Jørgensen and Milchev has put in a great performance today in the shoot-off. There was a 6-way shoot-off tied on a 1-2-2 for the last 2 spots in the final.
Well, Peter Jørgensen in his second European final, as Beth had just explained as well, is really competitive in qualification. He's done so well. Milchev just not quite ready. So Jørgensen will be leaving in 6th place.
That high house there really been taken up in the wind. But Milchev managed to keep his pace, keep his rhythm, and shot that pair beautifully.
Yeah, really had to raise the shotgun up nice and high there. As Beth said, took that brilliantly. Missed that last one, but got the 3rd. So we have the first elimination in this final. In his second European final, 23-year-old. He's still got some years ahead of him. Peter Jørgensen of Estonia. Silver medalist in Doha last year, if you remember, at the Olympic qualifier, the event that was put in just before the Olympic Games in order to give the shotgun athletes an extra chance to claim a quota place. He took a silver medal there in Doha, but today it's 6th place for Peter Jørgensen of Estonia. If you are just joining us on YouTube and Facebook, thank you very much for coming along. Thanks for joining in on the live chat as well on YouTube. I can see Addie's here. There's also support from Germany. Also Fiona is cheering on Jack. She's watching from Ireland. Love to know whereabouts in Ireland you're watching from, Fiona. Fabio's in Italy. We've also got support for Mikola Milchev of Ukraine as well. So 5 athletes remain. 3 of them are tied on a total of 19. Milchev, the Olympic champion from the Sydney Games, is on 18. And Jack Fairclough, who's now representing Ireland, on a total of 17 out of 20.
Oh, a lovely pair there for Ben. That high house really being pulled up in the wind and the low house dipping down. Once again, having to search and take that little bit extra time for that second shot. And a very nice stack pair on reverse station 3.
So Llewellyn with 4, Cassandro with 4. These two are replicating what they did in qualification. Both hit 125 out of 125 available. Well, Jack Fairclough has yet to have a 4 out of 4 at station 3. But has these two, gets them as well. That means he just stays within reach of Llewellyn and Cassandro. They're both 3 in front. Sven Corti now with 4 available has a chance to get up to 23 to match Llewellyn and Cassandro.
That high house there proving to be very difficult, getting pulled up in the wind. Seemed like he just couldn't quite get to it. Milchev taking his time on that pair there to make sure that he definitely breaks it. Looks as though the microphone didn't quite catch his call there on that pair, so he had to reset and then call again.
And we saw a lot of sensitivity with the microphones yesterday. Lots of cheering from the crowd, setting off the mics, which meant the targets were being released from the high and low house. Don't really seem to be getting too much of that today. A delay on that second shot, but it didn't matter. Llewellyn managed to get in front of it and take it out the sky. Now on 25. Pressure swings back to the Italian. And he gets those 2 as well, much to the applause of the Italian supporters. People also gathered as well, right down on the ground in front of the stands. Most of the seats here pretty full and packed. Another ooh ringing round for Jack Fairclough. Just isn't quite going his way for the moment. 21 with another visit to station 5 to go. So a maximum of 25 available at the moment for Fairclough. And the Germans missed that second one, put his hand up. He says he hit it. Looked pretty clear to me. It was a miss.
We used to have the VAR system in Olympic skeet, but that was taken out a few years ago. So now if an athlete wants to protest a target, they have to look for the side refs and hope that one of them saw a chip on the clay.
Yes, the rules state that as long as it breaks into at least 2 pieces, but as Beth was explaining a few moments ago with the flash targets, it's the luminous dust that's also there to try and help the vision and sight of both the referees, the side refs, the jury, and of course us watching.
I think on station 4 then, we saw Milchev get a bit confused on whether he was shooting a qualification round or a final, as he went to turn to shoot the low house and reload his gun, and then realized that, oh no, I'm not shooting a qualification round where we shoot 2 pairs, I'm shooting a final where we shoot 1.
So Ben Llewellyn with a miss. Cassandro now with a miss as well. So a bit of a reprieve for the Briton. Cassandro can still match him on 28.
I think it's important to acknowledge these athletes have been shooting over 3 days. 125 targets across 5 rounds with 4-hour gaps in between each round. It's really hard to keep your focus and your energy levels under control and make sure there's no soreness or tiredness in your muscles and get ready to attack those clays. So these shooters are proving to be very talented and very skilled in managing their energy and their focus over a long period of time. In fact, putting in another solid station to finish this 10 targets, providing a great example for his team of junior shotgun shooters out here this week. I saw Jack coaching them out on the range in PET, and he still had to compete and coach at the same time. It must be very difficult to manage the expectations of young junior athletes, but also try and reach that level of high performance yourself under pressure.
Sven Korte made sure that time those last 2 were hits. That first one was a miss. The Germans, I think, just got a bit worried for a moment, but he's sealed his continuation in this final. Milchev now needs to hit 2 to stay in. And there we have it. The 57-year-old and Sydney Olympic champion will carry on to the next phase of this final. Jack Fairclough of Ireland will be leaving us on a total of 25. And Milchev nails those final 2 as well. After that confusion earlier on station 4, takes those 4 at 5. And for Jack Fairclough, he finishes in 5th place. The 28-year-old who's competed at World Championship level and European Championship level, made this final and goes in 5th. And just in places, I think just Jack was a bit unlucky here and there. Didn't just quite work out for him, particularly over at station 3 as well, where he was without a 4 out of 4. So 4 athletes remain: Great Britain, Italy, Ukraine and Germany. The podium will now be decided over the next 10 targets. 4th place will be decided. And then we'll then have to carry on to see who takes what colour medal. But interestingly enough, Llewellyn, Cassandro and Milchev all tied on 28 hits. As Ben Llewellyn is about to step back up to station 3, completely in the zone. Just visualising what he predicts is going to happen in front of him in just a few moments. And that's solid from Ben Llewellyn. Cassandro now trying to match him once again. It seems as if he's been chasing Ben Llewellyn all the way throughout this final so far.
You can really see that momentum of the final starting to build now. We've had a couple of early misses in the first 10 and 20 targets, but now these athletes are on top form. They're in the rhythm of the final. And another perfect station there for Cassandro, 32, currently joint first with Llewellyn.
Well, I just love that picture just there. Not only is Sven Korte stepping up to take those 2, but just looking at Milchev in the background with his flat palm out in front of him, just practicing going through the motions. getting ready for the shot prep just shows you, even at 57 years old, he doesn't take any of this for granted.
The mental preparation before you go in the stand in ski and trap is so, so important. Making sure your muscles are ready to fire. It can also help to visualize where the target's going and make sure your body is ready and your mind is ready to go down for any unexpected targets, or as we've seen in this final, quite a few reverse targets being raised up by the wind, making them very challenging.
So Sven Korte really is relying on some misses from the others here, because Llewellyn, Cassandra and Milchev all on 32. And again, business as usual for Ben Llewellyn at station 4. Cassandra now with a chance to try and do the same. Just looking at Cassandra's glasses there, I think we seem to be wearing the same, him and I, today.
The colour of our lenses is so important in Olympic ski with the different backgrounds. In Olympic shooting, we use orange targets, and often it's a green background or a green bank. So you really want to make sure you choose a colour that makes that orange pop. But as we've seen through this week, especially through qualification, the sun has been dipping behind the clouds, but it's also been right in your face in stations 8 and 1 especially. So you want to find that compromise between making sure you see the targets, but also not blinding yourself by the sun at the same time.
Yeah, the lenses really do make a difference. It's almost as if then the target is like illuminated in the sky. And as Beth was saying, it's sometimes not unusual when you have changing conditions to see athletes come out with 2 sets, wearing one pair and then another set, sometimes on the bridge of their cap.
You also find that certain shooters prefer a certain type of colour. So it's very individual. It's not always about the light, it's about what your eyes prefer. So Ben prefers a pink lens to make that green really pop, whereas someone like Cassandra uses an orange lens.
Well, Cassandro matches once again and puts pressure back on Ben Llewellyn of Great Britain. Cassandro really showing his class. 38 hits.
And a nasty pair there for Korte, but it doesn't seem to bother him, getting them both in perfect timing. That high house really being pulled up by the wind there. And it seems as though he's just rushed that second shot a little bit. We've seen earlier in the final he's been taking his time on those reverse pairs to really make sure he's putting the shot in the right place. But it seemed as though he just hit the first one and then pulled the trigger on the second one, maybe before he had the time to process where the clay was going.
So with that as well, it means that Sven Korte has been eliminated, because Milchev just needed to hit 2 to stay in. So he'll be on the podium. And now it just depends where. So Sven Korte of Germany on a total of 35 leaves this final painfully really in 4th place, just off a podium place. But somebody has to go, and sport can be cruel. Despite that, though, big cheers ring round, not only from the German supporters, but also from everybody else gathered here at this Shotgun Arena to appreciate Sven Korte, and a nice wave into the camera as well. So the German leaves in 4th place on a total of 35.
So, Llewellyn, 38, Cassandra, 38, and Milchev, 58.
So that's how it stands.
Young man from Europe.
Want some excitement? Want some drama? Well, you've come to the right place. 3 athletes left, all on the same total of 38. Now, crucially, the bib number system still decides the bronze medal. So in that instance, if we were to get back to station 5 and they're all on the same score, Milchev of Ukraine will get the bronze medal because he's wearing bib number 6. However, we've got 10 targets to go until the bronze is decided. And who's the bronze Who's going to be the bronze medalist? Well, we'll find out.
And a great start to the next 10 targets there for Ben. Keeping nice and consistent in his timing and his movement there. And another perfect pair, especially since that high bird has really been pushed down by the wind there.
Well, that's the first miss for Cassandra at station 3 for some time. Ben Llewellyn will certainly be aware of what's just happened. And Milchev has also missed one.
It seemed as though when we're comparing that pair to some previous pairs that Milchev has shot, his timing on his first bird was a little bit late. Timing is so crucial in skeet, because if you change the placement of your first shot, the second target will be in a completely different place, meaning that your movement and the speed that your gun has to move to the second shot changes completely.
So Milchev now on 40, Cassandra on 41, Ben Llewellyn of Great Britain on 42. So a normal pair now at station 4. And Llewellyn nails those two. The Brits not making quite as much noise as some of the others, but a polite cheer and clap nonetheless.
Very British.
So Cassandro stays within one. Milchev now will try to stay within one of Cassandro. And does so. We're back to station 5, and we've got a bronze medal at stake here. So Ben Llewellyn can hit a maximum of 48, Cassandra a maximum of 47, and Milchev a maximum of 46.
Looking at Milchev's stock there on his gun, you can see all the stickers. At each competition, we go through equipment control. And at the end of that process, you get a sticker to mark that your gun and your kit and your skeet vest is all in working order and within regulations. So the amount of stickers that he has on his vest just goes to show his experience and his consistency over the last period of time that he's been shooting professionally.
Yeah, it's like my fridge magnets at home. I get a fridge magnet for every time I go to the country for the first time, but in no way am I comparing myself to Milchev at all. Ben Llewellyn with the maximum 48. That's all he can do for now. And he's through to the gold medal stage. Cassandro now just needs one hit to move through to the battle for gold. And the Italian's got both. He's done it in real style. So Britain and Italy will move on to battle for the gold medal. Milchev, meanwhile, knows that the bronze is already his. Well, there we go. Ukraine have their first medal of this European Championships. Isn't this just so wonderful to see? 57 years old, Mykola Milchev of Ukraine, the world number 54, has come here to Châteauroux and said, you know what, this is how it's done. He's come into this final and walks away with a bronze medal. And the appreciation from the crowd has just been wonderful. So many of us have been watching this man for so long. Back to the Sydney Olympic Games with that gold medal, those 11 World Cup medals. He's got a silver medal back from 1999 in the European Championships, and now has that bronze medal. What a wonderful day. Ukraine have their first medal of these European Championships.
You could really hear from the crowd there just what an important figure in Olympic skeet Milchev has been. You know, he's been on the top of his game for so many years and continuing to show how accessible shotgun shooting is.
So the battle for gold. If you're just joining us on YouTube or Facebook, welcome along. You're just in time. And for those of you taking part in the live chat as well, great to see you all talking amongst yourself. Ben Llewellyn with a miss for the first time at station 3 for a while. And has he hit and missed another one? He has. Pressure perhaps getting to 31-year-old Ben Llewellyn of Great Britain on a total of 50. Tamaro Cassandro can go in front. He's hit one. No, he's hit both. So now another 2 and can go in front for the first time in this final. Well, hit the first, missed the second, so both athletes remain on 50 each. Cassandro can't believe it. He's got to make sure those emotions don't get to him, because Ben Llewellyn is certainly a shotgun shooter who's very good at controlling his emotions and his temper. He's quite a quiet and measured person. Tamaro Cassandro is a bit more fiery. So Llewellyn with 2 targets, 2 hits.
It just goes to show in skeet and trap how you can have the best technique in the world, but if your mind's not in it, and if you don't have that mental toughness, you're going to really struggle in these pressurized environments.
Just like earlier today, in the women's skeet final, it all went down to station 5. The final 2 athletes were locked on the same score, and it's happened again in this skeet men's final. Great Britain versus Italy. 4 targets left per athlete, unless we go to a shoot-off. And Llewellyn gets those first 2, and has 2 more left. Well, bigger cheers this time, not only from the British supporters, but I think just from the rest of the stands as well. Tamaro Cassandro, what is he made of? He needs all 4 to take this to a shoot-off. He's missed the first, got the second. So Ben Llewellyn, just off camera, is being hugged. But he finishes in style, the Italian, and it's a silver medal, but he tosses those empty cartridges up into the air. And Ben Llewellyn and his coach Richard Brickell just celebrating just off camera. Ben Llewellyn now with fist pumps to the crowd. The Brits are on their feet. And Ben Llewellyn has become the European champion. 31 years old and still out there taking medals. And I just think just taking a moment just to take in what's happened here in Châteauroux. So here we go for the official announcements.
The bronze medal goes to the Ukraine, Mykola Milchev.
And Mykola Milchev, 57 years old. Big cheers from the crowd here, packed in this shotgun arena. It's a bronze for Ukraine. And Tamaro Cassandro, you can tell he's disappointed. He pushed Llewellyn all the way to the end. It's a silver medal for Italy.
Champion representing Great Britain, Ben Llewellyn.
Ben Llewellyn, there it is, a gold medalist. And he now has the title of European champion.
It's time for getting the big pictures. For me, it's time to change over in the final hall because...
Well, another dramatic skeet final. We had it exactly the same with the women's. It's been a great couple of days for Great Britain as well. Another 2 medals today to add to the 2 from yesterday. The gold and bronze, and then it was a gold and a silver today. Beth, your summary of the men's skeet final?
I mean, that was a super exciting final from start to finish. Cassandra and Llewellyn really going neck and neck all the way, pushing each other, and an epic 1-2-5 from both of them in qualification as well. Yeah, very, very impressive.
It just comes down to those final moments, the handling of pressure. We just saw a bit of emotion as well from Tamaro Cassandro coming off station 3 as they made their way back to station 4. Llewellyn, on the other hand, just seemed cool, calm and collected, managed to keep his nerve, stepped up to station 5, took all 4, and then once Cassandro had missed, he knew that the gold medal and the chance of a shoot-off had slipped away. So Ben Llewellyn being congratulated by pretty much everybody here at this shotgun arena. Beth and myself, I'm sure, will get a chance to go down and see the medalists after our broadcast concludes. But there's Amber Rutter, silver medalist from earlier today, and Phoebe Bodley-Scott also coming over. Nikki Wakeford, all part of the GB team. We've had a fantastic couple of days with 4 medals. So let's have a look back at the highlights of that Skeet Men's final here at the European Championships. Well, once again, all the drama and excitement of skeet shooting. A victorious day for Great Britain and for Ben Llewellyn, a gold medalist and the title of European champion here in Châteauroux, here at the Olympic venue for Paris 2024 last year. But for now, it's just basked in the celebration of the European Championships. That's been our schedule so far today. We had great fun with the rifle 3 positions duet earlier on. Croatia with the first medal of this European Championships. It was a bronze. Then Norway with the gold medal. In the skeet women earlier on, France just managed to get there over the line with Lucy Anastasio taking the gold medal. France's second medal of this European Championships. Ben Llewellyn with the second medal for Great Britain today, adding to the 2 from yesterday. And still to come, 2 more events, 5:30 for the 25-metre pistol women, and then 7 p.m. later this evening for the 25-metre rapid fire men, one of my favourites. My name's been Rory McAllister, been alongside Beth Norton of Great Britain, and from everyone here in our entire broadcast crew, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you later this evening and into this afternoon for the 225-metre events here at the European Championships 2025.